Good morning. It is Sunday the 12th of March. I'm off to the glorious Gravel X Sherwood Forest Gravel event. I'm doing the short route, which is 50k, although looking at the map it looks like it's actually about 34.5 miles, so it's going to be hard work. I'm not used to riding that kind of distance at the minute, not used to riding it off-road. It was supposed to be yesterday, but the weather stopped play because we had a lot of snow and freezing meltwater. So I'm off to Clipstone now, to the event village, to register, sign up and meet a couple of chaps that I'm going to ride with today. So we'll catch up with you later on the trail. Hi, this is Deb from the future. So I didn't do a lot of talking yesterday because I felt a bit self-conscious around all the people that were taking part at the event. But what I wanted to do was interject some bits of talking now just to explain what some of the clips are that you're going to see. So we started from the event village at Clipstone, which you'll have seen already, and then the next clip coming up is going to be the first section of off-road, which was after we'd come away from the event village at Clipstone, past Sherwood Pines and going into Clumber Park. So we did a couple of miles on this little dirt track, I think, which is part of the Robin Hood Way, and then went into Clumber itself. So from the very start, there was me, a guy called Nic and a guy called Steve. I vaguely know Nic through friends of friends, and I didn't know Steve, but I asked whether I could tag along with them when I realised that they were doing the ride because I was going to be going on my own. They graciously said that I could, and so we set off together. So the first section you'll see is that first section. Once we get into Clumber Park itself, we ended up riding alongside another chap called Simon, and he rode the rest of the way with us as well. So you'll see some of the four of us, or yeah, 3 or 4 of us in those first few clips. The event that I signed up to was originally supposed to take place on Saturday the 11th of March, but due to some snow the couple of days before that, they rode the course on the Friday, the organisers rode the course on the Friday and said that it wasn't suitable, that due to the amount of snow melt and the temperatures overnight, which would have caused freezing, that it wasn't going to be safe to travel to or ride on the Saturday. So we would then put off onto the Sunday if we wanted to transfer to the Sunday. So the 3 of us did. Because of that and all the melting, a lot of the trails ended up really, really muddy. So up until this part, there were, you know, it was wet, it was damp, we were getting sprayed with a little bit of muck, but we hadn't gone through anything too horrific. But from this point in the route onwards, we ended up with quite a lot of sections, particularly the foresty sections, that were just slipping around in mud. So I'm really pleased with my tyre choice. I had more of a kind of thick, knobbly tyre, so I think that really helped with giving me the traction, getting through some of that. Managed not to puncture as well, so I'm really pleased with that, and felt like my tyre pressures were right. I was comfortable enough, but didn't feel like I was sluggish either. So, but yeah, it started to get really muddy from here on in. So we're pretty much at the end now. I forgot to set the GoPro to record coming through the barrier at the end. I think we were all puffing a little bit towards the end, and I had come out in front and I was turning around just to make sure that I kind of wasn't flying off and going through without the other guys. So yeah, consequently I forgot to press record. I pressed record just as we got under the barrier, so when they were just giving us the medal, and we got a can of alcohol-free beer at the end. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a fantastic event. I definitely would do it again. Even the fact that it was so muddy didn't put me off. It wasn't too cold, so that helped things. Didn't end up with cold feet or anything. I felt for me, distance-wise, with it predominantly being off-road, it was a real challenge. So it ended up being, I think, 34.4 miles or something like that in the end. So that really did push me. And I think my Wahoo clocked it at about 1,800 feet of elevation gain, but checking the other guy's Strava, one of them's got it at about 1,500, another at 1,600, so it's somewhere around that, which where I live is really, really flat and don't get much elevation gain. So again, that was a challenge for me. So I think I felt challenged enough, but it was also beautiful trails. I think I'd really like to ride that route in the summer. I'll put the GPX in the description or a link somewhere. I'll try if I can figure out the technology, just so you can have a look yourself and ride that if you want to. Failing that, leave me a message with an email address and I can try and email across a GPX file. But yeah, I'll see if I can put that in there for you. But yeah, definitely check out Glorious Gravel. They've got plenty of other events throughout the UK, Wales and Scotland, I believe. And they've got this particular event on again at Sherwood Forest in October this year. So I might have a crack at that one again. But yeah, any questions, leave them in the comments and I shall see you next time.
What's going on, guys? Oh,
there's some puffing and panting going on.
IPA or golden ale?
Whatever comes, thank you.
Cheers.
Oh, thank you.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Yeah, well done, man.
Thanks for letting us tag along and
I mean, good time to come, isn't it?
Could we get a little group photo? Would that be okay?
Yeah, straight for